On Almanawi. My mother is still held in this outpost near Vegigedor. I must do everything I can to free her from the lion's claws. So will you accompany me?
We will do everything we can to free her. Do not worry. Let's go.
Halt! Who goes there?
DeSardet. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
Oh, well, you can come in, Your Excellency. But this savage, on the other hand...
Am I the one you call a savage, Renaigse?
This young lady is the princess of her people, and she is with me. As such, I would appreciate if you let us through.
Very well, Your Excellency. Please go and find the captain. I'd feel better knowing that he gave you his endorsement.
Well, who are you?
DeSardet, legate of the merchant congregation. Why are you at war against the natives?
Because they reject our presence. They've been attacking us for months. These savages, they stubbornly refuse civilization, and our men pay the price. We can't let them slaughter us without reacting.
Since you arrived here, you have destroyed the forest and ripped open the earth. And people disappear in our villages, the On-Almanawi first. We are only defending ourselves. And we are the savages.
Since we've defeated you, you can believe what you like. Anything else?
Allow me to introduce Siora, the daughter of Queen Bladnid, whom you faced on the battlefield. We understand that you brought her mother here, and I would like to negotiate her liberation.
A liberation? That'll prove difficult. She's dead.
No! You let her die! You may even have finished her off like an agonizing animal!
We didn't need to. When we collected her up from the battlefield, she was severely wounded. She died on the way to the camp.
I want to see her body, on Almanawi. Please. I must see her.
Can we see her, Captain?
If you're the one who's asking, Your Excellency, it should be possible. You're in luck. We were thinking about getting rid of it, but we received the order to keep her body. It's still at the infirmary. Ask the doctor. He'll show it to you.
Thank you, Captain. Siora, I'm terribly sorry.
Let's go see her now. I need to...
I'm sorry for your loss, Siora.
The infirmary must be the building on the right, near the camp entrance. Let's go.
Who are you? Are you looking for a doctor?
I'm the legate of the congregation, and this is Siora, the daughter of the queen whose remains you are keeping.
I would like to see her. I need to see her. Please.
My condolences, madam. The body of your mother is back there, in the room on the left.
Mother. No.
I should give you some privacy while you are mourning. We won't be far.
And varstir tu, Matir. Men sida denon mil frichtemen. I must take her with me, on Almanawi. We must perform the rituals.
The captain said that he was instructed to keep her body. It will not be easy to convince him to disobey.
I do not care about the captain's orders. She is my mother. She must be given back to the earth.
So, let's go back to see the captain and try to make him change his mind.
You can try, but with all due respect, I doubt that you will succeed. He will not want to draw attention to himself by disobeying this order.
What do you mean?
I believe he is a traitor, and that he made a deal with Telemi.
Those are some serious accusations, even for a member of the Guard. Why would you believe such a thing?
I overheard a conversation that got me thinking, and I also saw certain documents.
We could use them to pressure him. Did you take them?
No, that would be too risky. I do not want to get into trouble. But I suppose they would still be amongst his other belongings.
Will they let us rummage through this place without protesting?
Most of the guards returned to Hikmet after the battle was over. If you are discreet, you should be able to enter the officers' building.
Thank you for your help, Doctor. We would like to retrieve the remains of the Queen. Bring her back to her people and her family.
That will not be possible, Your Excellency. As I told you, the Governor specifically asked us to keep her. He wants her delivered to one of his scholars who wanted to study her.
You have lost a lot of men in this battle. How would you feel if someone prevented you from giving them a proper burial? If you knew that their corpses were going to be given to some scholars to be dissected, wouldn't you want to have them back?
You have a way with words, Your Excellency. Yes, I would like to give them a proper grave. Take her with you. I'll find an excuse to give the Governor's men when they come.
Thank you, Captain. There. We managed to convince him in the end. We'll be able to bring the body of your mother back to your village.
Then let's go. I am eager to reunite with Isolde and talk to her. Isolde. Our mother. I know, Siora. And the worst hearsay. Some men delivered her remains here. They said that it was thanks to you. And the Renagze legate. Thank you. We will be able to pay homage to our mother. Why are there mind shakers here, Isolde? I meant to tell you about it. They came saying that our mother had made an agreement with Teleme. But Mater did not tell me about it. She didn't say anything to me either. I do not like this, Isolde. These people want to drive us away from the land. I know. But we need help after the defeat. And they say that she made a promise set in stone. The spirits of the people of our village would have to go to the light, and in exchange they'd help us against the lions. This is impossible. Mater would never have done such a thing. They are lying, I'm certain of it. They may be. But if there really is a promise set in stone, we cannot break it. And we will have to bury our mother according to their rituals. We must verify it. I will not stand there while these mind shakers take our village.
Hello, my child. What a pleasure to see someone come to us with such eagerness. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matthias and come into the light?
Not really, Father. My name is DeSardet. I'm the legate of the congregation.
Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. What can we do for you?
What exactly do you hope to do in this village?
Well, bring light to these naive souls, of course. When we spread the word of Saint Matthias, I'm sure they will embrace our faith with fervor.
Karans, do you need something?
I'm sorry about what happened to your mother. How are you feeling?
Unwell? I am angry, and I feel an immense void within me. I blame myself for not having been on this battlefield with her.
I understand. My mother had the Malachor, and yet I had to leave her behind as she was at death's door. I can't help thinking that I should have stayed by her side, just like you.
And you could not have done anything to save her, either. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Your words alleviate my sorrow.
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war.
The first time you saw me, did you really think I was a native?
Aside from the way you dress, you resemble a native. I have never seen an Onol Manawi amongst the Renagze before. Is it so surprising that I made this mistake?
No, but I find it unsettling. On the continent, everyone looked at me as if I was this strange beast. And here, people think that I'm a native, despite the fact that I know almost nothing of your culture.
I understand that it might be a strange experience, but you should wear these marks with pride. Because they are the marks of the Onol Manawi. Those whose flesh is bonded to Tir Fredi. This makes us closer.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
You seemed really attached to Raina.
He brought some memories back. I was a bit like him at his age, and I felt responsible for his well-being. After all, I recruited him. Why? Don't tell me you're jealous of this poor kid.
Don't be foolish. It's just that you seemed so hurt about everything he went through. I wanted to understand how you felt.
That's kind. I'm sorry I made that stupid comment. This whole matter makes me nervous. I should have known that you were far too subtle to feel like that.
You told me that you enlisted at a very young age. But do you have any pleasant memories of your childhood?
Some, yes. Why? What kind of memories were you thinking about?
Tell me about a happy memory of yours. A memory that makes you smile.
I have a few sweet but blurry memories of my wet nurse. I remember her smell of crushed flowers and herbs. But when I try to remember something happy, it's the memory of a later event that stirs. The memory of a day when we skipped training to go for a swim in the river. It was spring. We waded for a good part of the afternoon into a marvelous little cold stream, running over a bed of round pebbles. Isn't it odd that that appears to be my happiest memory?
No. It was a moment of freedom. You were carefree. I guess that's why you remember it.
You're right. Since that day, there hasn't been much room in my life for being carefree.
Tell me about your family. Were your parents in the Guard as well?
Yes. And to be truthful, I never knew them. I was entrusted to a wet nurse, a prostitute who followed the troops. I remember her. She was sweet, and a good person. She may be the only one who showed me any kind of affection. But that didn't last. As soon as I could hold a wooden sword, I was given a real one and sent to training.
Glad to see you, my friend. I intend to prove to the Admiral that I fully identify as a Naut once more. Without regrets, I will have to go through a test of loyalty. It will certainly be dangerous, but with your help, I am convinced that I will succeed. So, shall we go and see her?
With pleasure. Let's see what adventure she has in store for us.
Good day, milady.
DeSardet. I'm the emissary of the congregation on Tir Freddy.
And cousin to the governor. I know exactly who you are. Enchanted. I am Admiral Cabral, and I see that you're accompanied by one of our own. Hardy winds, Vasco.
Hardy winds, Admiral.
You are still angry with me for keeping you ashore, are you not? You'll one day thank me for it, but I don't suppose you've come to talk to me about affectations. Did you profit from your time on land?
I did, Admiral. That's why I've come to see you.
You want me to entrust you with a loyalty mission?
Indeed.
Very well. A short time ago, we lost one of our ships near the island. The reputation of the Nauts suffered from it.
I have heard about it. An incomprehensible sinking which fueled numerous rumors.
We cannot let the land dwellers think we are losing the sea. So I need someone to investigate and restore our reputation.
At your orders, Admiral, and with pleasure.
The shipwreck is stranded on the shore, southwest of the island, not far from Xavier.
Thank you, Admiral.
I'm counting on you, Captain Vasco.
The corpses are chained up. These beasts were captive. Could they have died during the sinking?
I don't think so. They don't seem to have drowned. Something bigger slaughtered them, but no effort at all.
The hull was torn apart. And given the way that the wood is broken, it came from the inside. Damn it. What happened here?
There are scratch marks almost everywhere on the wood, but they do not look like the marks a reef would make.
It looks like an enormous cage. But look.
It's been broken. Is this ringing any bells for anyone else?
This ship was apparently carrying creatures from the island. The largest one managed to escape and made a hole in the hull as it tried to run away. Just like in Serene. The sailors did not stand a chance.
The Admiral will not be satisfied with our deductions. She will want concrete proof. Let's keep searching.
All the clues seem to corroborate the captain's journal. This is the same thing that happened at the harbor in Serene. The Guardian who was locked up on board freed itself and ripped apart the hull of the boat to get out.
Yes, and my brothers had no means of saving their lives or the ship, alas. Let's go back and explain this to the Admiral. The Captain's Journal will serve as proof.
Regarding the mission you entrusted Captain Vasco with,
We have come to give our conclusions.
I'm listening.
We examined the shipwreck and the surrounding area. A creature they carried on board managed to set itself free. An enormous beast. It made a hole in the hull and caused the sinking. We could only find dead bodies.
Alas, I was expecting it. May the sea be their shroud. We shall not forget them. Did you find anything?
The Captain's Journal tells the tale of the ship from their departure to the sinking.
Thank you, Vasco. It seems that the potions of the Alliance failed us once more. And rest assured, we will never transport another one of those creatures. They are too dangerous for our ships. Our honor is safe, thanks to you. You have proven your loyalty, and you have regained my trust. What you have achieved for us all deserves to be a part of your history, Vasco. I will send someone to tell the tattooist. He'll be waiting for you.
I have come to receive my tattoo. The Admiral should have informed you.
Indeed, Captain. Congratulations. Well, take a seat. You know the drill.
What do you think about it? I feel more Nort than ever.
great. Congratulations, Vasco.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
Now that the Admiral has forgiven you, do you intend to set sail again?
Without a doubt, but do not worry. I will not leave you before I find out where our story leads.
I would understand if you preferred to leave. But I would miss you. That's a certainty.
I will miss you too. But we're not saying goodbye yet, are we?
I hope that once this is all over, I will get to sail with you again.
I hope so too. To be truthful, I'd rather not leave these shores without you.
Ulan, I see that the governor of Hikmet's emissary is already here.
He is. And I am very thankful that you succeeded in organizing this meeting. I am full of hope for the future.
We are very grateful as well, Your Excellency. However, if you could leave us, I am sure you can understand that the discussion we are about to have must remain confidential.
Naturally. I hope that you will reach an agreement.
Karantz, do you need something?
Do you have anyone, a friend perhaps, whom you could talk to in this trying time?
I usually confide in my sister, but she's suffering too. And I think she resents me for not having been there when our mother needed me.
I know we've only known each other for a little while. But if you need someone to talk to, I'm here.
Thank you, Anal Manawi. You are a good person. And I'm glad that you are my friend.
Sea and love both share a bitter bite. The sea seizes, and love seizes. Love scolds us, and the sea scolds us, for neither are free from tempest's might.
A poem?
Yes, a poem I read and which I was trying to remember. It makes me think of you. Of us. Would you like to spend some time alone with me?
With pleasure. Meet me outside my room the next time we return to the house.
I will meet you there.
So, have you reached an agreement?
Our discussions were very fruitful. However, we are faced with a problem.
Really?
Our peace treaty depends on the ability to exchange freely.
And Chief Ulan has warned me that our merchants would be at risk of being attacked by the neighboring clan.
Mordoon, the chief of the village of Igugsob, is at the Nea Exragao. He is among those who think that the people of your island are only here to take from us. But his village would also benefit from this agreement. If you could convince him to meet us, we could reach an understanding, allowing the caravans to pass through his territory.
Without this, I am afraid we would not be able to make a commitment. Peace and trade are linked. If our merchants risk their lives coming here...
I am sure that you will manage to convince him that the Renaigse are not all bad.
I can try, at least.
Adloredar, we will wait here and hope that you will manage to reason with him.
What are you doing here, Renaigse? Your kind are not welcome in my village.
Ulan, the king of Vignamri, wants to establish a trade agreement and sign a peace treaty with the governor of Hikmet.
This sounds like something he would do. All he ever thinks about is picking up the crumbs left behind by the Renaigse. All of that in hope of breathing new life into his village, while insulting the memory of the deceased men and women who lived there.
Hikmet's emissary will only sign if their merchants can move freely and in peace. They want to meet you.
I am not like him. I am a Donea Exregao, a proud man, not a slug. The Renaigse cannot be trusted. They are deceitful and only seek to trap us.
Siora?
Mordoon, you know me. I know the cost of war. My village has paid for it dearly. But do you not think that this is a time we made peace? Or at least a time we listen to what Ulan and the emissary have to say?
If your mother could see you, daughter of Bloodmead, how can you defend the Renaigse?
The Donea Exregao I have met were fearless, and yet you were running away from a mere meeting. By refusing to negotiate, you are only showing weakness, nothing else.
Not Fradi. The worst part is that you are right. I cannot refuse this meeting without appearing weak. Fine. I will meet Ulan and his emissary. But I will not go to his village. Tell them to find me at Landristel. I will be there in a few hours.
I will tell them right away. Thank you, Mordoon.
You really know how to talk to people. I never thought you would be able to convince Mordoon. His anger towards the Renaigse is so strong.
Mordoon is willing to meet you at Landristel to sign a peace treaty.
You really are an accomplished negotiator and diplomat, Your Excellency.
I knew you would succeed. Thanks to you, the whole region will be at peace.
Do you know where this place is, Ulan?
Of course. In our language, Landristel means Glade of Promises. It is a sacred place, one whose peacefulness must be respected. It bodes well.
In that case, we should go there at once.
Yes. I will follow you. Come back to see me soon. And if luck is on our side, we will celebrate peace together.
Ulan is acting strangely. I do not trust him.
I suddenly feel the urge to go to Landristel. I hear it looks wonderful this time of year.
And if we want to see this encounter, we should leave now.
Adloredar, thank you for coming. You saved me. That accursed Ulan. I should have known he would betray us both. My men are dead, and now I am injured. He achieved exactly what he wanted in the end. I will have to join another clan if I do not want my whole village to suffer the consequences of my defeat.
I'm sorry, Mordoon. I really am.
You were deceived, just like I was. Sometimes, among the stones, there can be snakes. Farewell, on Olmanawi. And do not let yourself be betrayed again.
Traitor. This meeting was meant to establish peace, and yet you have exclusively sent armed men.
Mordoon was a Donea Exregao. He would have never accepted an agreement with the Renaigse. He would have endlessly attacked our merchants and our allies' caravans. We had to protect ourselves if we were to make these exchanges possible. So we did.
By lying and manipulating me.
I am sorry, but I was unsure that you would agree to help us if I told you the truth. I understand your anger, but keep in mind that we are now at peace, thanks to you. You are now a Karans of Vignamri, and should you seek it, you will always have our assistance.
Are you still willing to spend some time with me?
More than ever. Come.
Those who fear the waters should stay within the shore's sight. Those who fear the pain that love procures should shun the flames when love endures, and both shall be safe from founder and blight. That is the next part of the poem. And I also have a question. What do you think about it? Are you afraid of sinking?
I know this poem, and I think this is the way it ends. For if water could quench love's dying embers, your love that burns and pains and severs, I would douse this fire with the sea of all my tears.
Then we shall set sail together on this bitter sea, my tempest.
Halt! In the name of the Enlightened One, present yourself.
Lady DeSardet, emissary of the Congregation of Merchants on Tirfredi. I have come to present my regards to your governor.
We have been expecting your visit, Your Excellency. Welcome. May he light your way.
Do you renounce your gods? Answer me.
Why are you doing this?
Behold your so-called gods. You are demons. They burn. They are nothing. You shed tears for this creature while your heart should be full of joy. Welcoming the light. Forget your pagan foul teachings. Embrace the true faith.
You are mad.
Renounce your gods!
Inquisitor?
You! Stop where you are. The pagan stink of these soulless natives taints you. You bring demon-spawned barbarians through our gates.
This man just killed some helpless soul in front of our eyes, and he calls us barbarians.
Who are you to address me with such familiarity?
I am the Inquisitor Aloysius, and you will be going nowhere lest your answers give me satisfaction. Do you believe that the God of Light is the one and only God?
Don't tell me that you are going to humor this crazed assassin.
Diplomacy may seem to you of little import, but I doubt that your governor will be of a similar opinion. Aggression towards an emissary of another nation is an error that could lead to war.
You cannot hide from the divinity behind politics. But very well. I leave you in divine hands. This time. I shall allow you to continue along your path. I am certain ours will cross again. And be aware that wheresoever you wander, you shall be weighed, measured, and judged.
You are now under the stern eye of the God of Light. Hope that your underwear is clean.
It seems like you do not hold the priests of Thélème in high regard.
It's mostly that I do not trust them. They're hot-headed. You did a good job.
Young lady. Pardon me, are you not part of the new governor's entourage?
I'm his cousin, and I'm accompanying him on his mission to Tirfredi. What can I do for you, Father?
Bishop Petrus. How divinely fortunate this is. Did you know that I had the honor of meeting you at your uncle's court when you were a child? I would never have imagined that you would grow up to resemble the island natives so closely.
The island was yet to be discovered. How could you have known?
You haven't lost your clever little tongue. You were always quite a remarkable young girl. I'm on my way to New Serene as an ambassador to the new governor. Do you think there would be room for me to accompany you? The roads are not truly safe.
I must first meet the Mother Cardinal to present my respects on behalf of my cousin.
I will accompany you, and then we can take the road together. I'm so happy our paths have crossed once again.
Your Eminence, in the name of the Congregation of Merchants, I present my best regards.
May the light bless you and accompany you on these grounds with inspired guidance.
I thank you. We truly wish that this visit will strengthen the ties between our two nations.
I learned that you crossed paths with that of Inquisitor Aloysius. I beseech you to forgive his zealous nature. His faith is absolute, and I congratulate you to have appeased him. Your faith and your diplomatic skills honor you.
Another subject brings me as well. The Malachor. The horrible blood plague decimating our peoples.
A terrible matter that worries us all and reveals our imperfections and sinful nature. For he would never have allowed such an evil to spread without a deeper reason, a fault. Our theologians are certain that the Malachor is the work of a curse, and we have discovered that this island is home to a cult that venerates willfully a horrifying demon.
What a fortuitous coincidence. A practical excuse for sending the Inquisition out to set the island ablaze.
We must unearth this cult and tear it out by its sinister, sinful roots. We started to investigate a village not far from here, where strange happenings have been reported.
I have begun investigations, and I confirm that a demon is certainly active in the area.
Alas, the population is very secretive, and we have great difficulty gleaning any useful information. But if the congregation would help us in this matter, in other words, if the Malachor troubles your cousin as much as myself, report to His Majesty that the destruction of this pagan cult is the only way to eradicate the plague, and his help in obtaining any information from the natives would be extremely welcomed.
Be certain that your message will be transmitted, Mother Cardinal. I look forward to our next encounter.
What can I do for you, my child?
What was your role at my uncle's court? Were you already an ambassador?
No, but I was part of the embassy. I had only just started my career as a diplomat back then. Thélème was hoping to convert the congregation, and they had sent me to spread the word. I tried to teach you some of the basics because you had a predisposition for magic, but you were so young. You preferred to run around the halls with a wooden sword in hand, chasing your cousin.
Happy to see you, my dear.
You really don't look well. Have you not yet seen a doctor?
No, it's nothing. You know that I've always had a weak stomach. My nausea will leave me eventually. You wanted to tell me something?
I would like, if you would allow me the honor, to introduce Bishop Petrus, emissary of Thélème.
Your Highness, may the light warm you in its holy embrace.
Enchanted to meet you, my father.
I've come here to present respects from Thélème, and best wishes from the Mother Cardinal.
She has my most sincere thanks. But before speaking further, I would like to discuss matters with my cousin, if you would be so kind.
I have been to the neighboring cities, as you asked of me.
Tell me then, was your journey adventurous?
Well, I was able to gain audience with the governors, give them your regards, and glean some information. The Bridge Alliance believes that a remedy could possibly be found by studying the local flora. They are quite motivated, but their research expedition has gone missing, and there is no sign of life. And since they themselves are under constant attack, they cannot spare a rescue party to investigate. The Mother Cardinal, in her opinion, believes the Malachor to be the result of a curse.
A curse cast by a demon. An evil creature worshipped by a cult of island natives. If you would allow me to second the request of our Mother Cardinal, we are in dire need of your help. Our Inquisitors are hardly diplomats and... But I should let you finish, my daughter.
They have started their investigations in a village where strange events have been taking place. but they are unable to get to the bottom of it. The population keeps its secrets, and Taleme hopes that we might help them learn more about the cult.
This is all extremely interesting. You have lived up to my expectations, as always. That said, we find ourselves between the rock and the hard place. The bridge is already in open conflict with the island natives. Taleme and their inquisitors... We're going to have to tread on eggshells, but let's follow all the clues to their mysteries. We need to help them continue their investigations. Perhaps one will lead us to something useful.
I don't have a lot of men, as well you know, and since I only trust you among them, take Kurt and any others that seem useful. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you.
If you would allow me, Your Highness, I would be honored to assist your cousin on her investigation.
Very well, then. You could start by indicating the precise location of your nasty village.
Of course, Your Highness. I should have thought of that sooner. Allow me to mark the location on your map, my daughter.
Thank you. Have no fear, Constantine. I will take care of all matters at hand.
Greenblood, my friend. My contacts have spoken. I was able to discover the location of this infamous Phantom training camp.
Do you still think they should be held accountable?
More than ever. You know that I recruited Raynor. I want to know what kind of hornet's nest I led him into. I want to know what these madmen did. But I fear if I go alone, I might not be able to control myself. And I won't learn anything. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request? Well then, let's go.
I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
You two know each other.
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old comrade? And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is DeSardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Captain Vasco. No need to comment about our distance from the sea. I know.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret, even from your comrades in the Guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I've never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How's it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructors.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Raynor.
Oh. I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbor.
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable, but these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Raina.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well. I don't think he would have let us investigate otherwise.
I'm not sure it's a good thing, really.
Old barrack rivalries.
Rolf doesn't bring back good memories for me. But let's continue. I want to know what's going on here. Lieutenant!
Respectfully, Captain.
Here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. She would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills are normally associated with assassins rather than soldiers.
These skills are always useful, regardless of the enemy or the setting.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders, even to their death?
But No, Captain. We also teach them to analyze situations, so that they know when to act to avoid risking their lives.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolf in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. It's a prestigious position. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like this, made so suddenly, must have a price.
We can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Raina, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron?
Yes. I'm sorry. Haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbor to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick. I'd like to get on with training.
Soldier!
Captain!
At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, my lady.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. You're very united in this squadron. At least that's what I've been told.
United. You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Raina sound familiar to you?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Raina. And we're lucky to have the Lieutenant as our instructor, Captain.
We should leave this soldier to his work.
Your name, soldier?
Wilhelm. First class recruit Wilhelm, Spectre Squadron.
Keep it up, Wilhelm.
Lieutenants, report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go! Are you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry, Captain Kurt will make sure your superior doesn't come this way.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was here.
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me pay.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can take action and close this camp.
Very well. What would you like to know?
What's really going on here? We know that Raina didn't die in an accident.
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor, an extraordinary chance. That's what we're told every day. But in reality, it's just hell.
Tell me about the training you undergo here.
It's more torture than anything else. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads to more blows. They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit our teeth, and obey.
All they leave you with is your survival instinct. Obey or die. It's a human.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Raina, do you know what happened to him?
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders, he fought back, and people got hurt. That's when things blew up. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call us up for it at the last minute. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat them. If we refuse, we too become the targets. So we join in and strike. If you're looking to punish Raina's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back to your comrades.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Raina.
We understand the risk you've taken. We won't let you down.
Thank you. Really. That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see. You can leave us.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Wilhelm has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They are humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Raina wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled and was summoned for night training.
Are you sure he used that term?
Yes. But he told me it's not really training. That recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them. Sometimes to death. I know.
You know about this kind of training?
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the past. What a monster. How dare he?
I'm so sorry. I'm lost for words. Tell me, did you learn anything new?
I scouted out the site. There's two parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused to open for me.
We can't just barge in and hope they give up. What's your plan?
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks, the private quarters, and then the basement.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their lives tonight. Especially Wilhelm.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order to keep this camp secret. But it says that the recruits trained here have been assigned to governors from different cities. And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these elite units. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been going on here.
So Torsten knew?
So it seems. Including about the deaths.
He's gone too far. He dishonors us all. Sieglinder was right.
This room... What could have happened in here?
I know the smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
And to think I complained about the Nord's training practices, but this is horrific, Kurt.
This document explains a lot. They torture the soldiers to break them. Raina shows up on this list more than once. He gave them a lot of problems.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf, you'll pay for this.
Kurt, Wilhelm's name was added to tonight's training.
The boy will pay the ultimate price for having helped us.
We can't let them kill him. We must stop this training immediately.
The risk is that Rolf will ambush us.
If this boy dies because of us, I will never forgive myself.
Stop! We won't let you kill this boy like you killed Raina.
Soldiers! Do you realize what you're doing?
Captain? But...
You shouldn't be here. This time, you won't get away with it. To arms!
When my Master of Arms was in the Guard, he always repeated, fight with honor. What honor is there in lynching one of your own when he's defenseless? What honor is there in being forced to kill one another the moment one of you refuses to toe the line?
None. We followed orders. Nothing more.
You've been manipulated. But it's not too late to refuse all of this, to act with honor.
You're right, Captain. It's over, Lieutenant. We will no longer beat our own.
Imbeciles! Traitors!
Will you be all right?
I'm wounded, but I'll survive. Thanks to you. I'm eternally grateful.
Come, Wilhelm. We'll help you get home. We owe you that, at least.
I'm counting on you to bring him back to the camp in one piece.
Yes, Captain.
Well then, let's go. We can't let that vermin Rolf escape us. Rolf, you bastard, how could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made. Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We're doing our best to avoid a fight, to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
All this bullying and humiliation is only intended to turn you into weapons, not soldiers. And when a weapon is no longer needed, its owner throws it away rather than risk injury. That's why Raina was disposed of.
Being a soldier doesn't mean being a puppet. Put your weapons down.
They're right, mates. I don't want to end up in the harbor.
What do you think, soldier? You think we can trust them?
It's over, Lieutenant. These recruits won't do your dirty work for you anymore.
Congratulations, Lieutenant. You've trained cowards.
Their training wasn't finished, Captain. And the speeches were so convincing.
Silence! Where is this second squadron? Should have been here a long time ago.
They're not coming, Rolf.
They surrendered too. It would appear that your training methods aren't very effective.
Now that you no longer have lackeys to send after us, Rolf, you'll have to get your own hands dirty.
I've dreamt of shutting that big mouth of yours up for so long.
Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes. I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else.
What about you, Wilhelm?
Thank you for saving my life. Without you...
I hope you can forget all about this. This is not what the Guard is about.
I don't know if you'll be able to forgive us, Wilhelm.
I've been in your shoes on other nights. You didn't have the choice.
While we wait for this camp to close for good, you'll be under Wilhelm's command. You'll soon receive your transfer orders.
At your orders, Captain.
Glad it's you, Wilhelm.
You'll stay here for now. I'll send men I trust to come get you soon.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the Guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the Guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go see her immediately.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one. It is designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it. Even encouraged it.
I told you that the Commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinde. And reveal the Commander's project to the Governor of the Congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. And too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinde.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.
Rolf appeared to know you well. What was he to you? A friend? A rival?
A little bit of both. I wouldn't have willingly chosen him to be my comrade. And yet he was. And he was always picking at me to make sure that he was the best, the strongest, and the most appreciated. I suppose we all have someone like this in our past. Did you not experience that with Constantine?
Constantine was never easygoing, but we were friends more often than we were rivals. I know he could be awful towards other children, but he always had a liking for me.
You were, and I think you still are, his only friend. The court has not been kind to him.
It's true. Did you know that his father told him one day that he would never climb up the ladder if he did not start behaving in a noble way? Constantine took it a bit too literally and decided to climb up the city walls.
Yes, I wasn't with you then, but I was told about it. That was the first time you saved his life. You were very brave that day. And if memory serves, thanks to you, he wasn't even punished. You really are the friend everyone dreams of having. Anything else?
Sieglinde appears to know you well, and to have a lot of respect for you.
We fought together. That brings people closer, you know that. But I can assure you that's all there is to it. Actually, up until now, I've fought by your side more often than I have hers.
Yet you still managed to surprise me.
I certainly hope so. Just as you surprise me often. Finding pleasure in discovering new aspects of one another's personality is half the fun of a relationship, isn't it?
What is your duty as Master of Arms, besides teaching us how to fight?
What was my duty, you mean? It's all in the past now. In truth, you may have guessed it, but my main role was to make sure that nothing would happen to you and Constantine. Without, of course, turning you into some courtiers that are afraid of steel. You have to be considered trustworthy to take on this role. But alas, it isolates you from the rest of the guards. Always at the court, but never really belonging to it. I spent almost my entire time with you without seeing my comrades.